Shalom, brothers and sisters. Your brother ISRAELITES from the Northern Kingdom, bringing some edification for you Negro, Latino, and Indigenous who are the biblical Israelites. And before I start, I want to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, Rakakedash, that Yahweh, being the name of the Lord, not Jehovah, or God, or Yah, or Ahaya, it's Yahweh, the creator of all, the Ancient of Days. Bahasham is in the name of, and Yahweh Shai is the one you guys call Jesus or the Christ, technically speaking. And we give double honors to elders in GMS where we learn this truth. Shalom to the apostles, the bishops, and to the men down in the highways and byways giving the 100% truth day and night. Shalom to you and your households. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, Labakar in the Hebrew, the house of David being rebuilt once again. Shalom to you. And shalom to the speckled birds among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, but return to the house of Israel and are being edified by these videos. Shalom to you. The date today is July 9th of 2025, our hopeful year of salvation and the destruction of the nation of Edom. So it's been a couple days, 4 to 5 days, since the flood in Central Texas, okay? And they were still finding, this was as of yesterday, they found this individual that had found survivors in the first couple of days, first couple of hours. But nobody was kind of hearing what they were saying because there were so many people missing. I think at this moment, there's over 100 people, between 100 and 109 bodies that have been recovered. And there's, I think, 76 people still missing. So there's a lot of people still missing in this area. Just to give a little bit of background, this area, Central Texas, is one of those leisurely places where a lot of people like to go for holiday. It's called the Hill Country, okay, which is like Austin, San Antonio, and a little bit west of there, because most of Texas is flat, but this area has hills and it's real lush. There's a lot of deer. And there's a lot of what you would call springs. So these springs come out in all these areas, so it creates really nice low-flowing rivers. The Guadalupe River, the Frio River, and all these areas, because I've been in these areas. And this is, Texas gets really hot. When I mean really hot, triple digits. So this is the closest people go get cooled off. You know, the beaches aren't so great in Texas, per se. You'd have to go west, like Brownsville or something, where the beaches are a lot nicer and clearer, versus like Galveston or other stuff that was very muddy. So a lot of people in Texas go to the river. They go tubing. There's a huge culture of that. And so this is a high area for relaxation. 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend. These areas are booked 6 months to a year in advance. So I'm just giving you a little bit of background. If you didn't know, this area is a huge area for relaxation, barbecuing, things like that. Cabins are rented, Airbnbs. There's people that come in just their tents, car camping, RVs. It's from every economy that you could afford, people come. So this is that area where a lot of people vacation or take a couple days off to cool off or to celebrate these high holy days of Babylon. Okay, like I said, 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend. These are places where a lot of people come, and a lot of people actually from other countries come and enjoy these 4th of July, to experience 4th of July. You know, they've never had that. So this is one of the survivors, okay, that were saved a couple hours on the day of 4th of July. Okay, so this reporter is going to talk about this and how he survived. Okay, so before I start, I'm gonna fair use. So Again, this is infringement. This infringement of copyright is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, and teaching and parody. Right? Because this is not my video, but I'm gonna comment on it. I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not gonna make money off of it. And this is for the ministry's sake. So we will start with this video and hear what this young man has to say. Because I believe this was his birthday. 4th of July was. He turned 19. His father as well. So we're gonna get some understanding on this.
He's missing his almost 2-year-old baby brother named Carlos. I mentioned earlier that the foundation you see here behind me, that is the home they were in on the.
So just so you get an understanding, if you see that bridge there to the left down in the bank, the river's there. It's super low. That water exceeded that bridge. Okay, that bridge is over, I believe it's 28 feet, and I believe the water was above that bridge, if you can even phantom that, right? So, and they had no alerts. There was no flood alerts. Nobody gave them any heads up. They knew there was going to be rain, but I believe there hasn't been anything crazy like that since 1913. So a lot of people are like, yeah, okay, rain, no big deal. Right? They just don't want it to rain on their 4th of July parade. But the Lord, judgment came to them. Okay? And let's hear a little bit more.
Night of July 3rd, the morning of July 4th, when all of this unfolded. He told me today about how he made it out alive and how he is now holding on to hope. His mother was in the hospital room with us, and she actually shared a voicemail that Leo Jr. left on her.
So this is a big point, because when this guy found out that that this could be the end, he called his mama, man. That's Jake. We love our mama, and that's Jake. You're gonna hear what he called her to say in the wee hours of that, because he didn't pick up. He had just left a voicemail. Okay, so we're gonna see what he says to his mama. Okay, knowing that he might just be gone.
Her phone as the water was rushing into their house. She wanted to share it with us because she wanted us to understand what her son has been through, the fear that he felt in that moment. I do want to warn you, it is hard to hear. Here's Leo's story.
Mami, te amo con todo. I thought that was it. I don't want to say I accepted it, but...
You hear that? And that Jake's Northern Kingdom saying it in Spanish to his mama, right? Let's hear that again, because that's powerful. That's powerful what he said, because you don't be talking like that all the time. He thought probably he was going to die,
Mami, te amo con todo. I thought that was it. I don't want to say I accepted it.
What did he say? I thought that was it. He called his mom and said, I love you. And he was just going to die, drown, right? But for the mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, this man is alive, This man's alive, accounting, his survival. Okay, so let's hear a little bit more.
But no, I thought I was going to die.
Leo Romero never went to sleep the night of July 3rd.
I was awake all night playing just games.
Around 6 a.m. on July 4th, he heard the water.
I could hear water under me. It wasn't inside.
He woke up his dad, his stepmom, and baby brother.
So this is his stepmother, his father, and his baby brother, which all these are missing. They're missing, okay? His biological mother was the one that he called, and she was there with him. But his father, which I believe they have the same birthday. They were going to celebrate it the next day, because, Jake is real big with birthdays, man. And we told him, we shouldn't be doing. Hey, look, I tell my whole family, they look at me like I'm the crazy one. No, you're crazy. Why don't you come to the birthday? I'm like, yo, man, don't even ask me. Don't, I'm not about that. Okay, but I'm the crazy one. The Lord said not to do these things. Okay, we're not supposed to exalt ourselves above the Lord. Not even one day, not even an hour. All right, because these are traditions of the heathens. Remember, the Greeks really pushed that onto us. Okay, and now it's common thing for, Jake to go all out, birthdays, and, they're probably going to have like fucking pork and sausage and all kinds of shit like that, And the Lord said, nope, not one more time. That was enough. They ran out of grace. Just like you run out of fuel, these people here ran out of grace. You got E in the tank, ain't no more. Grace ran out. A lot of our people abuse grace. They don't even have no understanding of it,
I mean, it was bad, but like at that moment, we were like, it's gonna be okay. Like we didn't think, what happened was gonna happen.
What did you all do in that moment once you knew, okay, this is not gonna be okay?
Yeah, my dad just tried to cover where the sliding door was. This was anything, just boxes or with the table, but it just kept moving. We thought maybe we would still be okay, but then that's when the vents, water just started coming like super fast from the vents.
His father told Leo and his stepmother, Natalia, to climb onto the couch, grab the curtain.
Now look, their house got ripped apart. You know what I mean? Ripped apart. Because this is a crazy part. You're in your house and all of a sudden there is no house. It's gone, disappeared in the middle of darkness, and water is rising. That's scary, man. I don't care how tough you got or what training you got, what military you want. You were dead asleep. That's the last thing you're thinking of, or that your house is gonna burn down, or whatever. So this is just hearing these things are just
Leo Sr. held his toddler son in the air. How did you get out of the house, and how did you survive this?
I remember something hitting me on the head. How I would call it is the roof fell, but...
Do you see that? That's a picture of him. He's in all that garbage, all that. That's his house, That's what was pinning him there, floating along. That's crazy. That picture was taken by, I believe, the firefighters that saved him. So he was in the water for a couple hours, and he doesn't remember what happened to his father, his brother, none of that, So,
but just next thing I know, house is gone. So I'm just in the water, scrub whatever. I wasn't really able to hold on to it. I just kept going. I think I just hit like a lot of rubble, just
debris.
Like parts of houses, trees.
You were just stuck in debris, things coming down the water.
Yeah.
How did you get out of the water?
The firefighters. Yeah, I was there for 4 hours.
You were there for 4 hours?
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen your brother or your stepmom or your dad since Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
But you told me that you're holding on to hope.
Yeah. We have basically the whole family, searching. Neighbors searching. I'm glad I'm safe. But it does, hurt knowing that still don't know anything about, my family.
So that's it, man. Jake got faith. Jake got faith, and he even called his mama before he, before he thought the end was here, man. And that's crazy, but the true spirit of that coming out,
Mami, te amo con todo.
See what I mean? He called his mama before, he thought he was gonna die. But that's some heavy things happening, brothers and sisters. The hand of the Lord is upon us, and we're gonna have to get that scripture to prove these things, because this is heavy, man. This is Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living God, right? Because we're the only people that have the living God. Everybody else got statues, man. Okay, got statues of Buddha, no statues of Allah, or whatever the Hindus have the temple of the rat, or all these temple of the monkeys. The other nations have no God. Our God is the living God. Remember, He has proven this before. He wiped out armies for us, for Israel, man. And He's going to have, and Yahweh Shai is bringing His Son, okay, Yahweh Shai, And he's going to have to kill some more nations to prove the love he's got for us, man. You have to understand that great fear is coming. The hand of the Lord, great judgment is coming upon the earth. Okay, we already had events, right? June, we got the strawberry moon. We have been having things in the heavens, right? Flares, solar flares. We even had the huge supposed spaceship pulling up by the sun and pulling plasma, if you didn't know. But we're having these things. We're having the people in the whole world are lifting up against their governments, okay? Abreast. What is that? Matthew 24. So we have to understand what times we are in. You know, this is crazy. Let's see. Might as well just get that. Let's read that there. Yeah, let's start with that. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and shall deceive many, right? We got false Jesus, right? Fake Jesus, Caesar Borgia, right? That happened. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war, and see that ye be not troubled, for these things come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? Because there's wars already, Palestine, Israel, Ukraine, right? Iran, okay? This is happening. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine. And that's coming, okay? They already know all the food is going to waste, because they're picking up our people. These stupid idiots are finding out how much the so-called illegal immigrant America really needs. This is the backbone of America. We build everything and plant everything, and we're the ones who reap everything. We're not here who's going to do it. Okay? And pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, right? And that's still coming too. All these are the beginning of sorrows. This is just the beginning, brothers and sisters. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. And that's coming up. We know that's coming up. Right? Who are they building Alligator Alcatraz for, man? Okay? That's for Jake, man. They're going to just not just round up the northern kingdom. The southern kingdom's coming too, man. All 12 tribes. Esau hates all 12 tribes. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, right? Because we're saying that. And people hate finding out that their so-called God is black, man. All right? We're the one who got to burst the bubble and tell them the truth, that that's not even their God. And then shall many be offended, right? Because now the Edomites, the so-called Caucasian race, are getting offended, find out that their God is a bullshit. It's a made-up fucking thing, man. All right? And shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Okay? And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And right, you go to any church right now, there's nothing but false prophets in there, man. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, right? Because your own family members are going to turn your ass in, man. No. My blood is thicker than wine and all that bullshit. Your own family members are going to turn you in, all right? But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And look, man, by the grace of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we hope we can get that grace that we may endure to the end. Or the Lord put us to death real quick, you know what I mean? Because for either way, you know, we have to endure through every brother's gonna have to go through his own refining. Okay, just like he's refining gold and silver, every brother's gonna have to go through it, and it's gonna be different for every brother, man. So we have to be ready for it all. And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all worlds for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Have not the brothers that have been in the highways and byways, our teachers, their teachers, been proclaiming this truth? And now through the so-called internet, has this truth not gone out to every nation, to the ends of the world? It has. Everybody has heard the real gospel, not this fake gospel. Okay? Salaki about that. When ye therefore shall see the abomination and desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, right? Because 70 AD, and that happened. Okay? Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains, right? Because that already happened. They were fleeing from the Roman Empire. Okay? Let him which is in the housetop not come down to take the thing out of his house, right? Because you got to, if you wanted to go back for some money or your Torah, that was it, man. Neither let him which is in the field return back to his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and with them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, and this is what's coming, Jacob's trouble right here in 21. Okay? For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. That's Jeremiah 30:7, brothers. And that started already. The persecution of Jacob has begun. Okay? Just because it's not affecting the southern kingdom. Okay? But it's going. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh to be saved. But the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. Right? Because you know how he's going to come back. He's going to come with the fathership and his legion of angels, man. For there shall arise false Christ and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonder, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Right? Because Esau's got the Project Blue Boy, and now that they're going to do holographs, they're going to simulate an invasion. Behold, I have told you before. So, of course, the Lord is a prophet. He's a king and a prophet. He told us these things, man. We believe what Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has declared from the beginning. Okay? Wherefore they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert. Go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers. Believe it not. Right? Because we know he's coming from the sky, from the east. Okay? For as lightning cometh out of the east, and signeth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the coming of the Son of Man. That's right. For whatsoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. So that's it, brothers and sisters. We know that the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is upon the whole earth. But it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing to be in the hands of the living God. Call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Barakatham, Rakah Kedash, and he that have ears, let him hear. Shalom.